board resolution for consideration tonight that affirms where we stand as a district on non-discrimination and diversity based on our policy and our strategic plan. It also highlights the issue and problem of discrimination and harassment based on one's membership in certain groups, including discrimination and harassment based on actual or perceived sexual orientation. It reaffirms that our policies apply to all within our district, and also directs the superintendent to take measures necessary to ensure that we provide a learning and work environment free of discrimination and harassment. Madam Chair, you want me to read this?
Yes, please.
Okay. Resolution in support of non-discrimination to ensure a healthy, positive, and safe learning and work environment for students and staff. Whereas the Beaverton School District is committed to providing a safe, positive, caring, and productive learning and working environment. Whereas diversity is an essential asset of our community and a source of learning and opportunity in our schools. Whereas the district seeks to ensure an environment free of discrimination and harassment based on an individual's actual or perceived race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, national origin, marital status, age, or disability. Whereas we are concerned that discrimination and harassment have been experienced by students and staff in our district and nationwide, including students and staff based on their actual or perceived sexual orientation and gender identity. And whereas discrimination and harassment harm the dignity, health, and safety of those involved and further undermine our values and the learning process. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Beaverton School Board reaffirms the principles of non-discrimination and diversity stated in district policy and the strategic plan. Be it further resolved that everyone in our district, students, certified staff, classified staff, other personnel, parents, and volunteers are entitled to enjoy the same rights and privileges without distinction on the basis of their actual or perceived race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, national origin, marital status, age, or disability. Be it further resolved that we call upon each other, all administrators, staff, students, and our community to create and maintain an environment that is non-discriminatory in all respects, to call out discrimination if and when it occurs, and to ensure that all persons in our schools are and feel welcome, valued, respected, and safe. Be it further resolved that the board directs the superintendent to review district policies, regulations, data, and procedures, and to recommend to the board any actions needed to ensure an inclusive learning and working environment that is free of discrimination, harassment, and intimidation. And be it further resolved that the board directs the superintendent to work with diverse community-based organizations and establish a training program for key decision makers to ensure a non-discriminatory and inclusive learning and working environment.
Thank you, Mary. Do we have some comments, discussion from the board? Yes, Sarah.
This right now.
About this, yes.
I just wanted to ask, the only question I had was basically the concept in the second to last section on inclusive learning environment. I guess I just want to be cautious on how we move forward on implementing that inclusive means that we're making sure that it truly does address everybody's concerns and stays away from the concept of advocacy. That's inclusive does not mean advocacy.
Thank you. Other comments, questions?
Leah.
Yes, Tom.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to express my appreciation to the board for working through I think that that we acknowledge our values, what we care about, to have this kind of a statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Lisa?
Well, I appreciate this resolution and appreciate everyone coming this evening. And as we've worked through this issue over the last couple of weeks, it's such a big issue. It's such an important issue, and there is so much on the line for so many people in terms of students. I think everyone has been aware of the national profile of the student suicides that have happened. And what I've noticed in talking to people is how many people really stepped up to leadership that weren't necessarily in a leadership role. There were so many teachers that took individual action in their schools, and parents, and I know the GSAs have last week had, I think it was Ally Week, and it was the day to honor the lives that have been lost in the last few weeks. So as we move forward, I'm glad that we are moving toward improving our structure and things at a high level, but I also want to, I hope we'll do everything to empower everyone to act, I guess that's what I want to say, personal empowerment. We do have a lot of policies already in place. We passed a bullying policy. We have students that have reported bullying. I think we all have to do everything we can as individuals if this is going to be successful. So that's really what I kind of want to say, is that somehow, even though we're going to do more formal and big actions, that it really comes down to everyone's individual personal action. And It Gets Better, I think is the name of the campaign that's currently in place. When they put that campaign in place, they didn't want movie stars really in particular to be doing that. They wanted ordinary people. They wanted people to know that it really is that individual person talking to somebody that's hurting, that individual action of saying, it's okay, it'll get better. And that's, if all the people in this room took that action, that would just revolutionize everything. And then talk to your friends about taking that action and helping to recognize when people are hurting, and just to call, I like in our resolution, I really like the call out discrimination. So I like what we've written. It's not enough, it'll never be enough. And I hope that we're going to do better in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Mary?
Thanks, Dan. I think this resolution really affirms our commitment to a basic fundamental principle that a student's dignity and safety in school is paramount, and that no students, no staff should be concerned about whether they're welcome at our schools based on who they are. I think this is really the minimum, is this. I'm not saying it's easy, but that anything less is really unacceptable, and it's not consistent with our values. And from here, which is the minimum, speaking as one board member, I think we need to move to a place where nobody has to be in the closet, frankly. So I appreciate Sarah's comment, because I think it really hits at the real conversation we need to have. And I think Jeff has spoken very eloquently about the fact that effective teachers naturally share of themselves. And heterosexual staff appropriately share their heterosexuality all the time. And homosexual staff need to have the same standing, and anything less is discriminatory. I think bisexual or questioning their sexuality. And being honest about who you are isn't advocacy, any more than when I say I'm married or I'm Muslim or I'm a soccer coach. I think it's just being honest. And I think in the end, everybody, thank you, everybody on this board and in this room wants the same thing. We want to have a culture that cultivates learning and helps students and staff reach their potential. It's what we all want. And that is great common ground on which to take this conversation further. And then, Jerry, at some point in this conversation, I'd like to talk about the next step as a board. And I know part of this resolution is for you to do your review and then recommend to the board. And I'd like you, maybe not tonight, but at some point soon, talk about a timeline that you feel comfortable so that we move forward. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mary. Karen, and then we'll go to Tom.
In a minute, Jeff.
No problem.
So Mary always humbles me with her articulateness, both in writing and verbally. So it's hard to follow her and try to keep up, but I'll try. I have always been proud of the emphasis on diversity in this district and of our non-discrimination policies and the fact that pretty early on we included sexual orientation in those policies. In fact, I think I was part of that inclusion. So I found the last month pretty difficult personally and as a board member. I guess my most important feeling is that everybody needs to be who they are, and we need to support them to be who they are, whatever that is. And I think we want that for our kids, and we have to want that for our staff. Mary's going to hand me a Kleenex. Even if who we are means rhymes. Thank you. So the words that I heard in Jerry's remarks that I think I'm going to hang on to right now are tolerance, inclusiveness, and most of all, caring. And I just hope that what we have gone through as a district, if nothing else, can help us move forward on those three words. And I'll hang on to those because that's really important to me.
Thank you, Karen. Jeff?
Hi, well, yeah, I don't want to pile on too much with what's already been said. I appreciate the comments, Mary, Karen, and Lisa. I appreciate your comments, and I appreciate everybody for speaking up. My mother used to always say, and my mother was a pretty wise woman, I believe that. She used to always say, character is who you are when no one's around. But she also said, it's also who you are when everyone is watching. And I hope that since everyone is watching now, I hope that we live up to that, the statement in this resolution and on a day-to-day basis. Because she also used to say that every day is a test. It's a test of who you are and what you believe in. And we know that's true for everyone in our district, and we want them to be able to proudly be who they are, all right? Because it makes all of us, makes all of us better when we live in that kind of community. So I'm proud that we're doing this resolution here. I want to make sure that as Mary said, that we continue to have these next steps. It's encouraging to hear Jerry speak about all that has been going here, and if not to be trite, but if something good can come out of something that was uncomfortable or bad, then to me this is something good. The fact that we're talking now about things and we're actually trying to take some actions to make sure that things like this do not happen again, especially where we live, all right? Because that's what we're really in control of here. So I'm proud of us for doing that. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. Sarah? Tom, do you have anything else you want to add before I turn it over to Sarah?
No, nothing further, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate my other statement was just clarification. This is my statement. For all been very involved in this, and it's been a very emotional and complex time. And I think that's because we are dealing with a complex and emotional topic with moral, political, and legal implications. Let me state unequivocally my full support for removing discrimination in all of its ugly forms from our system. Abraham Lincoln declared, "Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves." The security, safety, and liberty of our children and teachers should and must be protected. When the line moves beyond protecting from discrimination into actively endorsing and promoting personal opinions and views on religious, political, social, or moral standards, I believe this crosses a line of what should be taught in our schools. I will not support changes to curriculum aimed at such advocacy. I will fully support and embrace changes to ensure safety and equality in our school district. I would like to encourage the board, administration, and community to remember that it is not any one person's or any one group's personal beliefs that should be controlling this district. That we are here to move the educational success of all our students forward. We have a commitment to making our students feel safe, but this is not our only goal, and we must not let one incident become so all-consuming that we lose sight of the other needs and challenges we are facing. I hope we can work with our entire community to strengthen their involvement and to help them to not only understand our challenges and the reasons spurring our suggestions for change, but provide positive solutions that benefit our whole system. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Any last comments before I give mine? Okay. I want to thank everyone for their comments. It's an understatement to say that this has been a difficult week for our district and for our individual board members. Unbelievable. I just want to reiterate that I, as a board member, support our policy of non-discrimination for all students and staff in our district. I'm committed to a safe, positive, and caring environment where all people are valued. And I truly desire our schools to be free of discrimination and harassment for all students and staff. That this is not a policy for one or two groups of people, but it is for all groups, all students, all staff, and all community members involved in our district. I'm pleased by the progress our district has made in this area this week, and I want to see it continued. So thank you to everyone that's been working so hard towards this goal, and to each of you as board members. Again, I acknowledge it's not been an easy task. We will continue to make our district the best that it can be. So with that, do I hear a motion?
I'd like to move that the board approve the resolution in support of non-discrimination to ensure a healthy, positive, and safe learning and work environment for students and staff.
Second, do I hear it?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is passed.
And I hear two ayes.
Thank you. And now we get to move to what may actually be one of our more important decisions tonight, as we have an incredible task before us this year of hiring a new superintendent. So I'm going to move so that Jeff doesn't fall asleep and leave us. I'm going to move to talking about our decision to vote on a firm to hire to help us in that process. And let me just briefly recap, because everybody needs their attentions turned towards this decision. At our last work session, we spent many hours deliberating and interviewing and discussing